Now, Venezuela's President Hugo Chavez has offered the country's island La Orchida as a temporary base for Russian strategic bombers. That's according to a Russian Air Force chief, who said he'd been to the island and could confirm the airfield would be able to accept fully loaded bombers after slight modification. The Russian Navy and 2 long-range strategic bombers visited Venezuela in November last year to participate in exercises with the country's. And for more on the subject, I'm now joined in the studio by political analyst Ruslan Pukhov. Ruslan, thank you very much indeed for your time. So, why do you think Hugo Chavez has made that proposal? Is Venezuela really interested in that?
No, I think there are 3 major reasons for this initiative appeared right now. The first reason is internal. We all know that Chavez regime is not very stable, that the country is divided in 2 big groups, almost 50-50, those who strongly support Chavez and those who are strongly against Chavez. It was easier for Chavez to stay at power while the prices for oil went up. Now when the prices go down, it's very difficult to feed its supporters, directly or indirectly, and it somehow heats the anger of those who are against Chavez. That's why Chavez is looking support abroad, to use it in his internal politics, to show that, I don't know, Russia supports him, China supports him. That's why this proposal, this is first of all a derivative of internal political situation in Venezuela. The second one, Chavez, being a very professional politician, he saw that there was a deterioration, especially after Georgia, further deterioration of Russo-US relationship. But now, with the arrival of Obama at power and with this famous concept of resetting the relations, he should be afraid that would be Russian-American rapprochement. And obviously, the second issue which Americans will discuss with Russians after Iran would be the Venezuelan case, that we should somehow withdraw our support, or at least support not so actively Chavez, and he's trying to counter the American influence. And the third reason, all militaries all over the globe, no matter Russian, Venezuelan, American, they always dream to have bases abroad. It's so seducing, because it's so necessary in case of war to have a forward-placed base. I think this is the batch of reasons why this appeared now.
All right, and is Russia likely to go ahead and station there?
I don't think so. First of all, we have limited number of strategic bombers, and we need them to place on our territory, because in case of the war, you can use them by trying to attack the potential enemy via the northern pole. And over there, being stationed there, they would be targets, they would be extremely vulnerable. That's why the base itself is very interesting, but air base is less interesting. We would be much more in favor of, let's say, electronic spy base, which will intercept, let's say, for example, the communications of the Americans, something which we have on Cuba and withdraw at the beginning of year 2002. This is the first reason. Second reason, we should always remember that this is very costly to have the base. And the third reason, that we were already kicked out from Egypt when Nasser, who invited us, died, and his successor, General Sadat, decided to team up with Americans, and our advisors were kicked out within several months. That's why we always remember, and we have fear, that the regime of Chavez is not very stable, and his successors will be definitively not following the same line. And so this would be counterproductive. First to deploy, and then we being thrown out. That's why I really don't think that Russian authorities will accept it immediately. We'll think twice and probably thrice whether to take or not it.
All right, Ruslan, I got you. And what can we expect from Washington? What kind of reaction can we expect from them on Chavez's move?
Obviously, if we accept this proposal, that Washington will not be happy. But they really know that we have no ambitions in this region. We accept this. Probably the modern world don't like the term zone of influence. It's a little bit of Cold War speaking, but anyhow, we understand that America has its strategic national security interest in this region, and will never be able really to face the United States and to challenge them full scale in this region. The same type here in Russia. The countries of former Soviet Union republics This is the zone of our interest. Believe me or not, whether Americans like these terms, but we have interests there, and obviously our interest would be always much more important in this region than elsewhere. And we will try to somehow do our best that our influence would be much higher than any other foreign actors, and vice versa in Latin America. So that's why we understand that we really cannot afford such kind of struggle with the US in this region, like morally, physically, spiritually, if you wish.
All right.